Mercedes Moné has just made her official debut post-WWE, so we'll see everything new that's surrounding her. We'll also check out some Damage Control teasers, Naomi, and more. Let's start things off with everything related to Mercedes Moné, formerly known as Sasha Banks in WWE. Similar to what the commentators at Wrestle Kingdom joked about, Mercedes going to New Japan Pro Wrestling was another one of the more poorly kept secrets in pro wrestling. It was supposed to be this completely full surprise debut, but as everyone knows, word got out about Mercedes' Wrestle Kingdom appearance weeks in advance. So everyone was more than aware that it was happening and everyone tuned in. Turns out that the rumors were in fact true. Mercedes came down the ramp and made her debut by confronting the current champion, who WWE fans will also be familiar with, Kairi Sane. So it was a big stare-down, face-to-face moment between two great stars that have a lot of history together in the ring. Sasha and Bayley versus Kairi Sane and Asuka was one of the biggest feuds during the early days of the Performance Center shows in 2020. And when it was confirmed that Kairi would be returning home to Japan and leaving WWE, it was Sasha and Bayley who were also heavily involved with her last few matches in WWE. So to see things come full circle nearly 3 years later, to where Mercedes and Kairi are standing in the middle of the ring at Wrestle Kingdom is just pretty insane to think about. If you told anyone back in 2020 about this scenario of Mercedes debuting in Japan to confront Kairi, some fans probably would have said that it was impossible. The new Mercedes Moné character had some huge appearance differences from what we saw from Sasha Banks. Mercedes was rocking a whole new look of a multicolor and patterned short wig, something we never really saw from the Sasha Banks character. So a whole new look and physical appearance for this new chapter and new character in her career. Mercedes proceeded to take Kairi out and make it clear that she's after the title. As rumored, Bayley and Naomi were in attendance for the show in order to support Mercedes during this big moment of her life and career. Mercedes also spoke at the press conference for the event to further tease and hint at what's coming up next for her career. She said that Japan is only just her first stop. She said that she's going on a world domination tour with multiple stops along the way. So again, that confirms everyone's suspicions that Mercedes won't be exclusive to New Japan Pro Wrestling. This is just a brief stop, and then she's going to continue to take her show on the road across the world through many different promotions. One of those highly rumored promotions for Mercedes includes AEW. AEW has that good working relationship with New Japan Pro Wrestling. She also has lots of friends and even former co-workers at AEW. It's literally a brand new slate of fresh challengers and possibilities. A lot of fans have been discussing the dream matchup of Jade Cargill versus Mercedes for a long time. You also have the potential matchup with Saraya, which could also be a great story if told correctly. Saraya's last match before AEW took place during a live event show in 2017, where she was taken out due to a freak injury while in the ring with Mercedes. So, to also come full circle there with that situation and have Saraya and Mercedes meet one-on-one in the ring in 2023 is another big match that no one ever expected to see again. Mercedes also took to Twitter to personally send out thanks and gratitude messages to Triple H, Vince McMahon, WWE, William Regal, the fans, and she most importantly thanked Sasha Banks. So, it's an exciting time for fans of Mercedes and fans of just pro wrestling in general. It's going to be a lot of fun to keep an eye on Mercedes' career and where her other stops will take place at during this world tour that she's on. Speaking of Mercedes, there was even a slight reference and mention of her on the January 2nd edition of Raw. This all went down during a heated exchange between Becky Lynch and Bayley. Becky comes out on the mic and criticizes Bayley for always being comfortable in someone else's shadow. Becky Lynch even said that it even took Bayley years to get out of somebody's shadow. That somebody that Becky referenced in that line was, of course, Sasha Banks. Sasha and Bayley were best of friends on screen, but once egos and jealousy got in the way, that just absolutely destroyed their team and their friendship with one another. So Becky's basically saying that the same thing will happen here with Damage Control faction. Once Bayley feels like Dakota and Sky are starting to outshine her too much, she'll dump them off to the side like what she did with Sasha Banks. Becky even complimented Dakota and Sky, saying they're actually the ones doing all the hard work for Damage Control. They're the ones with the gold around their waist while Bayley has nothing and still likes to take all the credit as their leader. This leads to a tag team match between Becky Lynch and Mia Yim versus Dakota and Sky. The closing moments of the match were interesting because it relates exactly to what Becky Lynch was talking about and could foreshadow the future. Sky was the one who picked up the pin over Mia Yim, but she's celebrating by herself on one side of the ring, while Damage Control teammates are on the completely opposite side of the ring. So it relates to what Becky was saying. Sky picked up the win here in this match without much help needed from Bayley and Dakota. Is Sky gonna be the one that outshines the rest of the group? And the fact that she was there on the other side of the ring, away from her other members for the celebration, was interesting too. Is that a little subtle sign that Damage Control may not really be together on the same page as a unit? It was a very interesting development there for the Becky versus Bayley story, and for Damage Control's future. Will Bayley eventually grow so jealous of her Damage Control partners that it'll eventually be the cause of their downfall? Dakota and Sky did their part. They won the tag team titles multiple times, but you can definitely argue that Bayley is the one that hasn't been pulling her weight in the group. Bayley was supposed to win that Raw Women's title and complete their dominance over Raw. So of course, Becky Lynch's character is only trying to instigate their entire situation and turn Damage Control against each other, but she still raises a fair question. Is Bayley actually the weak link of Damage Control? Naomi has been in the news a lot recently as news and rumors continue to grow about her potential return to the ring. Naomi recently joined Mercedes Moné in Japan for her Wrestle Kingdom appearance, and there was a moment there where fans wondered if there was any shot of Naomi signing with New Japan Pro Wrestling as well. Well, a new report is coming out from Wrestling Observer. They claim that Naomi returning by herself to WWE appears to be the expected route for Naomi. They don't have any real solid proof to back up that claim, but that's what their report is claiming. So if things do go down in that fashion, Naomi would be returning by herself to WWE. The interesting part will be how WWE books the story of her return. Obviously, there's no Sasha Banks by her side, so she can't really return and chase after the women's tag team titles. So it'll be interesting to see how they handle that, and if they will incorporate the walkout into her return storyline. Fans still think incorporating Naomi's frustration with the company into a storyline with the bloodline may be a perfect way to bring her back. If the story is that she's frustrated with her position in the company, it makes perfect sense for Bloodline to be there for her and make sure that she gets treated the way she deserves. So, the long-awaited and speculated theory of Naomi joining the Bloodline still technically has a good chance of happening. So, we'll have to see what they decide to do there if that WWE return does in fact happen. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.